All right, welcome. I know for this first inaugural official kickoff stream, we had a couple pilot tests before, and I thank those that have helped me there. But we may only have a few people viewing this initially here, but I am going to do this in such a way that I'm going to assume this is the first time you've met me, met MK Quilts and things. And for those of you that have been working with me on this project for more than a year, I just ask you for a little patience here. So, welcome to the Machine Owner Technician Training Program Introduction. Okay, so this will be posted to YouTube. Um, what we're doing here basically initially is I'm going to give everybody an introduction to who we are, why we're doing this, why is this different than other training that we give, and then explain some of the ground rules. I'll share my screen so you can watch some of this, but clearly you're going to want to go and do your own research as well. So there's nothing behind me that shouldn't be behind me. I forgot to check that, but okay. So let's get going. For the people that are already members and are jumping on our Google Meet, which is a members only session there. We will end up back there once I do this little introduction for the first 30 minutes. But down here on my phone, I can see other people have joined. So if you're on that session, if you want to see my screen shares and everything, you need to go to YouTube under the MK Quilts um, YouTube page. And hopefully the stream is showing up there as, hey, I'm live. So I think we're good. I see the microphone going. I assume we're not having sound problems. I will turn down my phone's volume so it doesn't confuse people. But okay, so let's start out. I am going to try to share my screen over here. And let's start out with a quick introduction of MK Quilts, okay? Um, my wife is on the right here, Melissa, and that's our shop manager. You can go and check out. Let's see, I keep forgetting it's a full screen share, so I'll try and make this bigger. Okay, so we have a shop here in Florida. Okay, so we are a quilt shop, full service. We even need to update these pictures. We've got six figures, trust me, lots of fabric in house. We're open locally here 6 days a week. We have a training room, which is populated several days a week with sit and sew. So, we're building a nice local community. But the other thing, MK Quilts, is we are one of the top national sales shops in the country, and we got there by our service. Um, we started out even before we sold machines selling training on how to use the computerized Pro Stitcher. And COVID came along, and we were the only ones that were heavy on social media, could do our training um, remotely. We delivered machines remotely, did a lot of things. And that is our mascot, Samson, saying goodbye to Becky, who is, as we close our shop here at 2 o'clock. Um, so I just want to make sure everybody understands that we started out in training on the machines on how to use the machines. All right. So the other thing that we become very good at, and I won't make you go through all of our advertising on our site here, is we have been giving exceptional service even if the customer didn't buy their machines from us. So I've been in charge of the service side for the last 6 years. We've been helping people out. So we really have two customer types of customers: those that bought machines from us that we call owners, and those that wish they bought the machines from us. Okay. I only joke slightly because if you're looking at this, you probably are in a situation where either your retailer went out of business, you moved away, or they're not giving you the support they like. You're having trouble getting people to do the basic maintenance on the machine, things like that. So we realize that's a problem in the industry. We do have a program for those who want to be adopted called our Exceptional Service Program. This is not MOTT, okay? This is basically if you bought your machine, even at show price at a show someplace, and you didn't select us as your retailer, you can pay us to adopt you and give you all the benefits. And part of that includes 2 weeks on or 2 months. Try that again. 2 years of university membership on our university, which I'll give you a quick view of here. We give 10% discounts, you give priority callback. We extend the warranty from 90 days labor to a year. Just a lot of service related stuff. And there's a fee in that related to the device, but that's mainly because you can go for dirt cheap and buy from somebody online, but you're not going to get the support. And the thing I want to point out here is you'll notice support, the button's right at top of the page. And what we're going to do with these live streams is I'm going to cover troubleshooting for free, open. Any user needs to know how to troubleshoot things, okay? And I posted a couple pictures for people to look at before. We're going to go over some of them, and I'm going to have you try and figure out what's wrong with the machine, or which problem did we address. So you can go out to our support site, set that up. You can resolve most of your issues by checking out our self-help guides, and you can book time with me or another technician here. So that's all important. What is the university, and why is MOTT different than our what we call our premium level of university membership? When you start talking about joining up, you can check all this information out here. The premium membership is about how to use the machine specifically, and most of our customers are in premium because they have the Pro Stitcher on it, a very, very technical and important part of the machine. And so it's more how you use it. And so I'm also going to help you learn to troubleshoot it as part of this for free. We're not trying to milk more money out of people. But the other aspect of a person, whether you bought it from us or bought it from somebody else, is if you're in the middle of nowhere or have moved away from a technician, you may want to do your own basic maintenance. You may have a small business of your own and you can't be down a week, even being down a couple days, especially around Christmas or peak times. You want to be able to service your own machine, okay? So our university here, I am a member both of the premium, so we have our chat sessions. It looks like this is our new layout. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but we do have a forum for technicians here where I'll be sharing information, introductions, announcements. It's sort of like a Facebook group, but it's a little bit more controlled. It's safer. You're not going to deal with all the Facebook hassles that you normally do. So it's not only a place to build community, but you're going to have access to information on an ongoing basis. You will be able to also access many different lessons. This is just the main one with the training. We've got our oh, that was the old one. I have to refresh my screen. Okay. So this will be an updated lesson. So it's living product. We're going to be adding more to it, but as you go through, you can go through and read oh, I have fancy sound effects. So, what are the tools you need? Downloading your service manual. Now, Handy Quilter allows us to provide the service manual behind this paywall. So we can't make it available just in general to the internet, but as long as you're working with a certified technician, which is what MK Quilts is, they're okay with you working on your machine, doing the service, and having access to these service manuals. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff on here. I could go on and on talking about it, but the key thing is when you come in and you start considering whether you want to purchase MOTT, there is and never do things live unless you have things completely prepared, but I'll have this link on the they say down at the bottom. But basically, the machine owner technician training program, I talk about all the benefits of it, training videos, So when it comes time to do something, you're going to have the service manual, but you're going to also want training. You're going to want to be able to see it being done, and you're going to want to have somebody that you can call. Okay. So I will glance down at the chat menu here as well and make sure those things, make sure I respond to some of those. Understand the YouTube stream is going to be delayed 10-15 seconds. So there will be some lapse between what you send and what I can respond to. So we do live remote technical training. Like I said, this is not just a product where you've got to go online and service yourself. You will be able to call me and other certified technicians to get assistance, and we can use smartphones, tablets, and things to do like Google Meet sessions to do things. Mention the forum. We also have a very large inventory of parts. So what an expedited part from Handy Quilter is really 3 to 5 days. If they ship it 2 day or whatever, we can overnight parts if it is that important to you. So we have parts in stock. We also sell the lube kits and things, and we are going to, more than monthly, I'm going to try and do it every week initially and either provide some recorded content, but we're going to have live streams often. For now, starting on Saturdays, and I know we have some international people. I saw the first person on was from Germany. So thank you. You know, I know this need is out there. We'll do what we can. We have people in Australia. I know Bernadette has helped me a great deal. The one thing I do want to point out here, though, is Handy Quilter and I, we just want to be upfront and let people know that we're going to be honest about this. If you drop the machine on your foot, you're not going to sue us. You know, if you break apart doing something stupid, we're going to ask you not to try and claim it under warranty. There isn't a lot of overly expensive stuff inside the machine that we can't replace. But yeah, we're just going to have you accept a waiver. And if you accept the waiver, you go on to the other machine and we start talking about membership options, okay? And I will go over this right now because currently we reviewed this and we're looking at about a $500 a year service program here for MOTT, okay? You figure if you're having someone out to your house to do even just basic timing, you're talking a good $300 for a lot of people coming out. I used to think that was a lot, but then you start thinking about travel time and other things. We have a niche hobby here. So it's not like there's a gas station on every corner. There's not a long arm on every corner. So it's hard for repair people to cover a large area and do it cost effectively. So the idea right here is for $100 off, you can join for a full year. And, you know, this is just supporting us and continuing to do what we're doing here. We're not going anywhere, Melissa and I. This is our retirement. This is our passion. We really enjoy what we're doing. So you don't have to worry about us disappearing, okay? Handy Quilter supports us in this action right now. They're wishing more retailers could do what we do, but Melissa is amazing with her artistic quilting and everything she does with the machines. I'm a computer nerd that happens to have worked on avionics and loves the engineering side of things. So we've got both things covered. So hopefully I won't bore you too much. So that is just a quick overview. Please review all of this stuff in here. Like I said, most people can solve a lot of their problems by checking out the free support. So that's the troubleshooting thing. So let's get to some of the fun stuff before we go over to our members only discussion, because I'm pretty sure we will find some of this a little bit more interesting, okay? The whole idea of learning, and it takes time, but you want to learn from other people's mistakes, okay? So here is a picture of a machine that had the thread occasionally popping out of the tension knob, okay? So what is wrong with this? And basically, my recommendation to make sure your thread stays in your tensioner is to make sure this part is moved forward as far as it can go. And I have another photo here of an example of that. Okay, you can see how it's forward and therefore the thread's going straight down in your tension assembly. Okay, that's the way you want it. Now, this picture also has a problem in it. I'll give you a minute to look. What do you think's happening here? Because this machine had shredding. The upper thread would shred and sometimes break. Okay. So if you look at the take-up spring, that is forward, which is normal if you're pulling on the thread, pulling it down, or if it was up through the take-up lever. But I'm doing a test right here, even though it looks like it's just laying there. Once I relieve the string tension, you can see that the take-up spring is rubbing against what I call the stirrup, okay? That's not good. So basically you've got metal striking thread against the stirrup, and that would cause problems because it's happening so fast you don't see it. But that take-up spring can be replaced by a user. We sell them for a few bucks on our website store here. I'd recommend everybody to have at least one spare of those because you can accidentally break them off, okay? But that needs to be replaced because either somebody caught on it, got bent out, or for a period of time, Handy Quilter actually got a bunch of defective parts in. And because MK Quilts actually burns in their own machines and checks things out, we catch a lot of these things before they get to the customer. So I do have another picture since we mentioned something breaking. This is a tension assembly on an Infinity. The little arrow there, I'm not sure it's dark enough, but there's an arrow right up here. The take-up spring actually broke off, okay? You can see it used to go here and you can see it even rubs, but it's just not there. What's interesting on this Infinity is it kept stitching. There were some tension issues and weirdness to it, but even without the take-up spring, this machine was able to operate for a while. Here again, part of MOTT, and it's in the service menu as well, or if you bought the machine from us, I'll get on remotely and talk you through replacing this stuff. But hopefully if you're going to get this deep into working on your machine, you're going to want to be part of the machine owner technician training program. So I just thought that was interesting. I think there was one more. Well, okay, I think everybody can tell me what's wrong with this picture. Okay, I put this on here. This actually happened in our shop, okay? What happened is the plastic glide foot fell off. And you can see the holes getting hit there. So the point of the point, that's pretty funny. The point of this is you want to make sure your glide foot is securely fastened. Now, the reason this happened was the earlier glide feet were all plastic and they would break, okay? There are little metal clasps with longer screws you can get. We have them for like $3 right now to put over your plastic glide feet, and I'd recommend you picking those up as well. All the current glide feet now that they're shipping have a metal ring inserted in the plastic, so this is no longer a problem. That is new news. You probably haven't seen that anywhere. So, all right. These are the types of things that, I think it'd be helpful for people to know. And I'm just going through and seeing. You can buy a timing video from us as well, but here's another picture of perfect timing. Oh, that's the other photo that I did not, or that I posted on the preview that did not come up here. Let me pull that real quick. It's under timing. Okay. Give me a second. Timing. Okay. What's wrong with this picture? We looked at timing from the back, The hook and basket are in sync with the needle. However, if I zoom in, there is a gap between the hook and the needle. That's going to cause shredding, skip stitches, and things. So when you take our timing video training, which is part of MOTT here as well, um, it goes into great detail here in what to check for timing. Okay, so that's a common problem. You can jam up your machine hard enough that can shift this back. Okay, if you get a needle strike or something, a lot of things can take it out. Handy Quilter officially calls that an unfortunate incident. And hopefully we don't have too many of those, but, and yes, I'm a SpaceX fan. So there we go. All right, let me check the chat here real quick. And I should have an MK Quilts University thing in the background here, but I did not do that this time. All right, let's do this instead. All right, so while I check out the chat here, Oklahoma, Ohio, Dakota, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, South Germany, Michigan, Chicago. Wow, Texas, Alabama. Yeah, some of these people have known me a long time, and I know some of them have already gone to our private Google chat group there. I've got it on my phone again. We have a community of people. We really have over the years that are so helpful to other people. So even if Melissa and I are not available, these people are just so kind and willing to help and work things through. So, and I see Paco is on here. Paco Rich is an amazing tutor. And oh, I see Bernadette is on our internal call here. She's from Australia. We just have wonderful people there as part of this community. So I hope you consider that part of the value if you consider joining. So, all right, Bernadette, I'm going to have to turn down the volume because I can hear talking. They can talk back there. Okay, so K. Earl Long Jr., if I purchased online from Handy Quilter and chose MK Quilts as my shop, does the sale go to you? Okay, one, don't purchase online, period. Okay, they can only offer retail online. Even our highest price with our service, our ESP, and everything is less than retail. Okay. If you go to a show, and we're going to be in Daytona, and they are offering show price, here's a little secret. MK Quilts is always selling our machines at show price. Hold on. My wife jumped on the collar. I'm still doing. Hold, hold on. Okay, so this is what happens when the boss shows up and she's not clued in. Honey, I am doing the live feed on YouTube and we don't get on down here. So she's waving. You know, these poor people out here that aren't part of MOTT are not going to see your shiny face. So bless you, and we'll get back to you. I'm muting you, but yes, you guys can talk amongst yourself. I'll be right there. Okay. Oh, the boss, the boss, the boss. So, anyways, the boss is at home right now, working from home, and she showed up here and thought I was muted, so she'll keep people entertained. Yeah, I know this is not very professional at all. So, okay, so we were talking about buying the machine. So we're going to be at the show. Handy Quilter's going to be selling machines at show price. But if you choose us as a retailer and come to our booth, you're going to need to buy ESP on top of it. We give a 30% discount, but that will make it more expensive than just show price. But the way, and I didn't plan on doing this today, but the way I keep that in perspective for people is you can pull into a $50 a night motel, or you can pull into a 5-star resort. Okay, we are really a top of the line 5-star resort. You're buying a very expensive deluxe car. You should be serviced well. But if you buy it from someone else, they get a training commission. And do they really earn it? Probably not. Okay. There are some good ones. There's 2 or 3 out there that compete well with us, but that is why we have a show price plus pricing program, because the things we do, the the services we include, the extended warranties, do cost us money. So I don't want to get in a sales pitch for machines, but I can tell you we literally have over 150 plus really passionate, happy 5-star plus users out there that bought machines from us. Um, I can confidently say, I can look you in the eyes and go, there's no place better. You won't get better service. And you can ask on social media, and you won't find people complaining about us out there. Okay. Um, so so Earl is a month out of purchasing an Amara 24 in the chat, and all I have to say is send an email to sales@mkquilts.com, and Joya will. Joya is a quilter out of Sarasota. She's also our sales manager. She closes most of the sales, frees me up to do other things. We give the same pricing to everybody. We're not wheeling and dealing. If you have a trade-in, we'll work on trade-ins. But yeah, we've got a very detailed process here where we may be a Melissa and Paul type mom and pop shop, but I can tell you I'm paying almost $500,000 in salary a year for all these good people, the contractors and everything else going on here. We are really committed to making sure that we have the people to support you. And as I mentioned, Paco Rich is on the line here. She is a mentor. She's started a separate program called New Owner Training now. Anyways, some people need a little bit more hand-holding, want a personal touch and talking to that beyond what they get. So we're trying to offer different services for different people. All right. So I have talked for a full 25 minutes. That's usually Melissa's job. Yeah, she's not watching this, so I can get away with that. But anyways, this has been fun. I hope you understand the people that are, just viewing this to see if you want to become part of our community. Check us out. Make sure you go and you look at our support structure here. We do a lot of things virtually. I even can get on your PCs and help you out with computer problems when you're like running Pro Stitcher Simulator locally and things. So we have so many different skills, and I'm not alone. I've got multiple technicians around. Joya's husband's a certified technician. They're all over the country. Have even gone to Texas for us. So just make sure you check us out, and I'm very confident that you'll find that nobody else is reaching this level of support. We really are that 5-star resort, that 5-star level of service, and I hope you'll take a look at this. And if you are looking to know how to open your machine safely, do your service, clean it, there's 90% of the things are easily done. Sometimes you have to open the machine, maybe you got to tighten a belt. All of this stuff can easily be done with our guidance. And so consider joining the machine owner technician training. All right. So I am going to close the stream. I'm going to go over to our internal Google Meet session where we already have people waiting. And for those of you that are already MOTT members, you can go on to let's see, I should have it here. If you go into the technician forum, and if people want to sneak on or whatever, yeah, that's my goony face here. You click on the event here, and there's a link here. So if you can copy down those, you can actually join. But try and join the group and become part of this community. And we're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna get real comfortable with the machines, and you'll always have us to call when it comes time to do something you haven't done before on the machines. So with that being said, I am gonna go back and just wish you having a great day. All right. I'll be right there. Coming, guys. I'm coming.